Hi, I'm Helen Powell. I'm the owner and operator of Careers in Cosmetology.
Since I've been enrolled in Careers in Cosmetology, I've learned a lot, and I look forward to a bright future in cosmetology thanks to Helen Powell.
Hello, my name is Shelly Steff. I have been a stay-home mom for 18 years. Coming to school here has been a wonderful blessing. I feel very privileged to come to school. I feel very privileged to know Miss Helen. Anyone that has not been to school, I encourage them to come on. Coming into school has made a great difference in my life, in my family's life. I really enjoy it.
If you want an exciting, profitable career, come see us.
Gentlemen, and welcome to Real Talk. I'm your host, Pat Brock. We've got the Dublin alumni chapter of the Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated with us, the president herself, Madam President, Dr. Sherelle Edmond, and we've got the chairperson for the 3 Mile Walk or Roll for the Cure, Miss Tammy Howard. How are you ladies doing?
Doing great.
Doing great today.
Always good to see you. You all have such a wonderful group of ladies that work so hard for this community and outside of this community. Dr. Edmond, talk to us a little bit about the Delta Sigma Thetas.
Yes, the Dublin Lawrence Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. We are a public service organization right here locally in Dublin, Georgia, providing service to the surrounding county areas in Washington County, and Trutland County, Telfair County, and Wilkes County areas. We enjoy giving back every opportunity that we get an opportunity to. We start out in September of each year, so we're just now hitting the ground running, and with us hitting the ground running, we're getting ready for our first major event, and it's a big fundraiser for us, but also a way to give back to our community, which is our 8th annual 3 Mile Walk for the Cure this year.
And you know, and we were talking off camera about through the years, how much you all have raised and how that's been able to help people.
Yes, we've raised quite a bit over the years, and last year, if not mistaken, we raised over $20,000 in the funds, and all of those funds do go back out into the community. A portion of it goes to help us continue to give back to the community in other areas. On last year, we did donate to the American Cancer Society, and we also sponsored the Survivors Dinner on last year for the American Cancer Society.
Very nice. How was that?
Oh, it was a joy. I enjoyed serving and just seeing all of the men and the women that came out to eat, but not only that, to see all of our group of ladies of Deltas that were there able to serve them, to walk around, to take the meals to them so they don't have to get up, taking prizes to them throughout the evening, and just fellowshipping with all of them.
And Dr. Edmond, have you always had a heart of servanthood?
Yes, ma'am. I've always, starting out from a young age, and I think I got it from one of my mentors, Lily House, from coming up through Girl Scouts. So just always willing to give back. And then now you see I'm in a school that's all about public service as well.
All about public service. Miss Tammy Howard here. She's the chairperson of the event, and you have been for a few years, haven't you?
Yes, ma'am, I do, and I love it. I take this to heart. My grandmother, who passed away several years ago, she was a cancer survivor, breast cancer survivor, so this is my program. This is my event.
Every time, you know, every year, it just seems like it gets better and better. We see a lot of familiar faces in the community. Some travel from far and wide to take part of this event because, you know, when you think about it, there's someone that you know that has been affected by the C word. And it's a very devastating thing. And of course, you know, we've got living proof here in the studio that there is healing. And so you're going to get to meet some of those ladies in just a minute. And we want to talk about the day of this event and how people need to register for this event. Tell us what we're going to need to do.
All right. Our registration has already started. The event will be on October 21st, and that will be at Fairview Parks Track. It'll start at about 8:30. We'll get started with a little exercising and everything. And of course, we've already set up some registration dates. We're actually going to have our first registration date September 29th at the Recovery Center, which is across from the Piggly Wiggly grocery store in the parking lot there. And then we'll have another registration date on October 7th. Both of those registration dates will begin at 9 a.m. and we'll be there till 12. But of course, we're taking registration all throughout this time. We have telephone numbers to provide, and all you have to do is call us, and again, we'll meet you where you want.
Look at that.
That is the idea behind it. We want you to register for this walk. Hopefully, the Courier Herald will be having the registration papers out soon, so you can either mail it or, like I said, give one of us a call on the information sheet, and we will provide anything you need. One thing that comes with the registration, it is a $20 fee, but we also have a T-shirt, and our T-shirt is that prize that you get to wear throughout the year.
And I love seeing people out in the community. Every time I see them with their shirt on, I'm like, yes, I was there. I know those ladies. They do great things. And so what is your theme? Now, you always have a theme each year.
Yes, we actually had our theme, and we just sort of modeled it after one of our national members' actual speech, and it's Stay Woke.
Yeah.
The cure is more than just a dream.
Wow. And speaking of staying woke, there are a lot of statistics about cancer and breast cancer, and you all make sure you have vendors out there. You have people from the hospital that's represented, is that right?
Yes.
To kind of give you awareness and to kind of help you in different areas to just let you know what's out there. Some people don't even realize the resources they have, do they?
Right.
They don't. And Fairview Park will be one of our partners this year, and they will have someone from their mammogram department out there to provide information for everyone as well.
That's good. And you know what's special about this walk, and I think I've noticed it every year, is when you have the special kind of like a ceremony for lives that have been lost and survivors. And I know one year you all had me light a candle for my sister. And you know, oh Lord, it was very emotional for me. Because when you think about it, when you think about how that disease, how it attacks a person's body, and when you see your loved one go through something like that, it does something to you. And so you plan very special things throughout that day, and you have very like testimonials.
Yes, we do. And it's just great to see the survivors. You know, we all think about the individuals that have touched our lives that we've lost, but to see those survivors.
Yes. Oh, wow.
That we might have lost a loved one, but the survivors are still there, and they need all the encouragement, the push possible. So it's sort of like a celebration for them. We just, in turn, use that as part of showing the community how much we are vigilant about this disease.
And you all definitely are. And Dr. Edmond, I know you all lost someone from your group. You've lost like someone in other sororities to this this disease, and so you all celebrate everyone. I remember seeing a gentleman who was there that had breast cancer, was a breast cancer survivor, and so when you see their lives being celebrated to that magnitude, what does this do for you all?
It gives my heart joy.
Yeah.
Just to see that we're able to give back, but to see them happy. But not only that, to let them know that we're fighting for them as well. We're right here in this race, right along with you, giving you all of our support as well. So that is one of the things when we do serenade our survivors. It's not only breast cancer survivors, but all cancer survivors. But we want them to know that we appreciate them and we're right there praying and fighting for them.
Yes, you are. And there's a lot of work that goes into making sure that you actually have this walk on October 21st.
Yes.
Tell us about it.
Yeah, it's a lot of work, but I have a lot of support. Our sorority, our community has been very, very much working hard all the time for this. So, I mean, we've got it down to a science. We actually know who's supposed to do what, when they're supposed to do it. So, you know, it's something routine for us. The work is something that we love to do, so it doesn't even seem tireless.
Right.
You know, it's like we're doing something, we're planning a big event. It's like planning a party, a celebration. So when you think of the term work, it's more of getting ready for this party, and you see all these individuals smiling and supporting one another.
That's right.
And, you know, the music, the dancing.
Yes. Y'all have some of the best DJs I've seen. I mean, you know, I've had to borrow one of them for my wedding. It was just so amazing. I called you, I said, yeah, Tammy, who was that DJ for the Cancer Walk? I mean, you all have some of the best people out there, and you just, it's such a beautiful energy about it. Such a beautiful energy. And when you look back from when you first started and to where you are now, what do you see has changed with the walk? What things have you had to tweak a little bit to kind of make things more sharp?
One of the things is we've been able to include a lot more men, you know, with the statistics rising in men getting breast cancer. I think the last statistic said about 2,400 men have been diagnosed in our state. So trying to find the survivor gifts that
Yeah.
meet the men as
Yeah.
well
That
is
has
one
been
of
a
the
task.
things that's been
Yeah.
a task, because you
Yes.
like trying to find something that they would like, but having more and more community involvement in it, trying to get everyone to know about it. At times we've ventured off and said, should we have a run or a race? But most of the time we say, let's stick with the walk, because
Yes.
the people that we have are more willing to walk and communicate with each other,
Yeah.
sit down and have some fellowship time with one another.
Right,
So
right.
that's one of the things I think we found.
And then one of the things is getting our sorors within our organization to be out on the track, to be more like cheerleaders. We started
Yes.
using that kind of pumps up and motivate all of your participants that are out there participating on that morning. So it gives you that little drive when you see signs going around the track, or people clapping on or calling out your names and just cheering them on. So I think that has been an added plus for us as well.
It's always, I mean, if you have never been, you have got to take part in this event, just to be in the midst, to be in the atmosphere around so much positivity, so much love.
Yes.
It's so, I think it's life-changing. It's life-changing. And so what have you been hearing, like after one of these events, what have you been hearing out in the streets about this particular walk?
Well, I hear a lot from when we do the live remote. We did the
Yeah.
live remote a few years, and just hearing feedback and seeing that they can tell you had a good time. They like hearing the interesting facts that we do provide
Right,
for them.
right.
But not only that, they always ask, how did you get all those people out there? Because our number does increase.
It
And that's
does.
one of the things when the feedback comes back. Each year we have had a higher participation as far as participants registering.
Right.
Not are all able to make it, but as far as those that are donating or wanting to be at least a part of it in some way, that has increased each year.
That's good.
That has been a plus.
And this is a great opportunity for different other organizations, other sororities and fraternities. We've seen them out there, churches, church groups, youth groups. Our church always participates every year. This is an opportunity for your organization to come together to support one cause. And so what do you want to make sure that the people out there of Dublin-Lawrence County know about this event on October 21st?
That we need you there. We
Yeah.
need you there not only to bring awareness to cancer, but you're exercising, you're
Yeah.
walking, and you're taking those walks around that track, and you can gauge how healthy you are just
Right.
by making that one step. So not only are we out there celebrating, but it's getting you a chance to go out there and walk that track. See what Fairview Park has to offer when
Yes.
it comes to cancer screenings and other individuals that are out there providing information to you. So we want you to know what's in your community right here, so you don't have to travel to Macon
Right.
to go to a breast cancer walk or go and get screened for cancer, because those vendors are right there in your community. So we want you to be aware of what you have within your community, and I mean, you don't have to travel.
That's right. And they're eager to speak with you. I mean, the mammographers at Fairview Park are outstanding. I still, to this day, when I'm out, I'll see one. I was at a game the other night, and she says, "Hey, Pat, don't you remember me?" And, I have to think, I'm like, oh, my gosh, yes. And so they're eager to talk to you. They're eager to educate you. So it's all right there. And what other vendors do you have?
We use, of course, the Dublin Fire Department, which is out there to help the kids learn
Right.
a little bit about fire safety. So that's one of the things. Fairview Fitness, of course. If you want to join the gym, you got an opportunity now
Right
to work
there.
with one of the Zumba instructors.
Yes, she'll
So,
work you, too.
Yes, you will.
My husband can't wait for Zumba. He loves it.
At least you get a free Zumba class.
He loves it. And Dr. Edmond, what do you want to make sure that they know?
Want to make sure you know too, just because it says 3 mile walk for the cure, that does not necessarily mean you have got to walk 3 miles.
Right.
I have had several people in the community to come up to me and say, "Oh, I can't do it. I can't walk that far." But if you come and support, even just coming out there to fellowship with the other
Right.
community guests that are out there, it's a time for you to network and fellowship with others. You can walk 1 lap around the track
Right.
and then just enjoy the atmosphere. I promise you it will be a loving and a positive atmosphere, and you probably won't be ready to go home within the first 10 minutes. You're going to want to stay the entire time.
That's right. They're going to sit on a picnic bench and shoot the fat, as we say. And, you're going to see a lot of people that you haven't seen in a while. And some you didn't even realize that they were actually survivors or had been going through it. Talked to one of my friends recently who she was just diagnosed with breast cancer. So, this is a time for the community to come together, reiterate on the dates and times for registration to make sure everyone knows.
Okay, remember the event is October 21st, and our registration dates are going to be September 29th and October 7th at the Recovery Center, which is in the parking lot of Piggly Wiggly from 9 to 12.
All
But
right.
you can also call us and you look for the registration forms that will be in the paper.
Very good. It's been a pleasure seeing you both again. I know you worked so hard on this here, Miss Tammy Howard. And Dr. Edmond, it's always a pleasure. Thank you for everything that you all do for this community and the surrounding community. Tammy Howard and Dr. Cheryl Edmond.
I'm Dale Nifong, your State Farm agent on Hillcrest. We're celebrating 14 years of service to the Dublin, Lawrence County communities. Please call us, text us, or even email us to find out what makes us different and how we can help you. We're located on Hillcrest between Dublin High School and Kroger.
Back, ladies and gentlemen, and we are talking about the 3-mile walk for the cure. And when we're speaking about the cure, it is nice to have some survivors with us. Miss Lillian Hobbs, hey girl.
Hi.
You squeeze your hand. Miss Lillian Hobbs is also, a member of the Delta Sigma Thetas, but she's the co-chair for this event and also a breast cancer survivor. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
Nice to see that you are yet in the land of the living.
Always.
Always.
Thanks, God.
And this beautiful little one in the middle, hi, that is Cambria Lagrune. How are you?
Good.
How old are you?
9.
A 9-year-old survivor, and we've got her beautiful mom with us, Patrina. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Doing well. Thank you for taking the time to speak with us today. We want to share with the community just hearing their stories and where they're coming from and the experiences that they've had and how well they're doing now. Miss Lillian, though, we want you to kind of talk a little bit about the walk before we segue into you.
Okay.
Tell us about some things that we want to make sure that we have said that have gone unsaid.
Right. The only thing I think that we need to state is that the deadline to registration in order to get a T-shirt will be October the 7th.
October 7th.
You may register anytime after that, but you will not receive a T-shirt because we have to order T-shirts and have them already there for you.
Okay. Well, this is my registration right here.
Okay.
2 large, 1 medium.
We have it on camera,
Isn't
so
that
we won't
terrible?
forget it.
We want you to share, and as candid as you all would like to be, a little bit of your story so the people out there will know something about you. Are you ready, Miss Lillian?
I am, but I was seeing she wanted to go first.
Cambria, do you want to
go
talk first? Or do you want to hear her first to see how she sounds? Let her go first.
Okay, I was first diagnosed with cancer in 2003, June of 2003. I went for a regular, I found it myself, and I went for my physical, and he said, had my mammogram, everything was fine, and I had to call it to his attention that it was not fine, that I had found a lump. And he did not know. He went back, he had already given me an exam. It was so small that he could not find it, so he sent me to a surgeon, and we did about 3 different types of tests to make sure it was there.
Right.
So in June, in fact, I kept going. I went on to Detroit for the very first National Baptist Convention. And I decided, mostly my family, that since we were out of school and everything was going on, to go on and get it done before that time. So I had my first surgery in June of 2005. And I have a praying mother and a praying family. And they were all there for me. At the time, my sorority sisters did not know.
Okay.
My school officials did not know because I didn't want the, I'm so sorry, pity party. So I did inform my principal. So he informed the secretaries, which led to it was all right.
Right.
And we all worked together for that. I was truly blessed to have had chemo. I had to have chemo and radiation, but God blessed me to have chemo on Friday and back in school on Monday. I drove myself to chemo every day. I had friends in Macon that their principal had already laid out things for me in case I needed to stay. But I'll call them back and say, I'm around 16, I'll be there in a minute.
Now, she is not your regular
So I will
person.
not
do
advise
not,
anybody to do that again.
do not.
So
I mean,
would not advise
you
you.
have such a strength. And would you say through the years that with everything that you've gone through, it's made you so much stronger?
It has, because after all that was over with and I was cancer free for 13 years, in 2013, I was diagnosed again. And it just broke my oncologist's heart because I just knew everything was fine.
Right.
But not 2013, 2015.
15.
So I had this go through treatment again, but it was not as severe as it was before. And since everybody knew I had to go, I had a long list of supporters all over that came in. My niece that's with me all of the time, she took off from school and came down and stayed with me for a week. After that, my sister-in-law, they met each other in changing, came and stayed for a week.
Wow.
My cousin came and stayed for a week. And then people were in and out. My sorority family, my church families were just tremendously, community and everywhere. So,
You know,
I've truly been blessed.
to have a support system
Yes.
the way that you have had. And your attitude, I remember I would see you, I was like, how you doing, Miss Hobbs? I'm blessed. Baby, I'm better than blessed.
Yes.
And just to hear the positivity coming from you, knowing that your road still has been a difficult road. And just to hear that and to hear you talk about the support you've had.
I'll be going on tomorrow to get my port flush, and port is where you put your injection and everything, and hopefully they're removing that on tomorrow or maybe
Amen.
later on. But even if they don't, I'm still blessed and I'm still thankful that God has allowed me to tell the story. And it's not just over now, because you're always thinking about it in the back of your mind. But I know there's a God, I know there is a cure somewhere.
Amen.
And we will be doing it.
Amen. And you're a walking cure.
Thank you so much.
The way you are able to encourage others. In the midst of your going through, you've had to encourage your family and your friends and let them know, hey, I'm going to be all right. It's going to be all right.
One in particular I had to do, she diagnosed right after I was.
Yeah.
And she was really scared, but she's doing well.
That's a
So
blessing.
they all are doing well now.
That's a blessing. Now, Miss Patrina, as you're listening to Miss Lillian share her story about her diagnoses, your baby girl was diagnosed with a childhood cancer.
Yes, she was.
Share with us, if you would, give us some tidbits about your story.
Okay. My daughter Cambria, she got diagnosed on April 18th of 2015. It started where she was going in for a simple procedure to have her adenoids and tonsils taken out here at Fairview Park Hospital. Well, when she went for post-op, they found that her blood pressure was high, like it was running like an adult's. So the doctor decided not to do the procedure and called her pediatrician, where we had to go the next day for him to evaluate her. After that, he said everything was fine, but it might be something going on internally. So the following week, we had to go see a children's cardiologist in Macon, Georgia. Went there, did an echo, found the mass. And her blood pressure was high again. So he admitted her, got admitted to the children's hospital. They ran tests, and they diagnosed her there with neuroblastoma. Well, we stayed there for a week. 2 weeks later, we was at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta at Eggleston, where I met her oncologist, did some more tests, got her line put in, and she started her first round of treatment.
Now, Cambria, did you understand what was going on with you?
Really? No.
You didn't, did you? And so, Mom, how did you, how were you able to kind of to talk to her, to help her, and she's a twin,
Yes,
by the
ma'am.
way, to help her and him to understand what was going on with her?
I just told her that she has a jelly bean in her stomach, and we're going to get rid of it. Let the doctors do what they're supposed to do. We're going to pray and ask God to make your jelly bean go away.
And Cambria, how are you feeling right now?
A little good.
You're good. When you had to be at the hospital, was that hard for you?
Yes.
What was the hardest thing? Can you remember?
Go to sleep.
Sleeping was hard?
Yeah, because the machine keep beeping, beeping, and beeping.
Oh, all the machines and stuff that were on her? And so, Mom, tell us about the support system that you've had for Cambria.
My parents, my siblings, members of my church, the community, my job, you know, they all surrounded us, prayers, and always asked if she needed anything, how she's doing, so.
That's good. Now, Cambria, so you were having a little hard time, weren't you, with that jelly bean in your belly?
Yes.
And now you're feeling good?
Yes.
And so do you understand what we're talking about now?
Yes.
And so if you had to tell some of the little kids out there what's going on, what would you say to them?
I would say whatever it is to stay calm and be patient.
Stay calm and be patient. Wow. You know, that's spoken like a grown woman. Do you see changes in her as far as like her maturity level because of what she's experienced?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
And what's changed with you, Mom?
Everything.
Just going
Everything.
through.
She said everything's changed with Mom.
Just going through this, to be aware. I would tell any parent, if you notice any changes in your child, go to the doctor, ask questions. You have to be that spokesperson for your child, because nobody knows your child better than yourself.
That's right. And how old was she when she was diagnosed?
She was diagnosed at 7.
7 years old. And she went to the doctor for a routine procedure for her tonsils?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, grab her hand right there. And so here it is, something that's relatively routine. You're going in, you find, oh my gosh, something is not right. And you remember that moment too, Miss Lillian, when something was not right. Even when the doctors told you
Everything was good.
you yourself knew that something was not right.
Right.
People, this is just sitting here, listening to their stories, coming from a little child and from a woman who was cancer-free for, 13 years, and then it came back.
Right.
Hearing their stories and just knowing the strength that it requires to even go through that. And I think that with your age, young lady, I mean, it takes an extra special strength. And so when you were in the hospital, Cambria, what did you do to keep yourself calmed down?
Ask Mom to get me play on my tablet or play on her tablet or her phone or watch television.
So you'd watch television, play on the tablet or the phone, right? And if you can see her shirt, it says the struggle is real when the battery's dying. And so, you know, what this is an education. We're being educated about to how important it is to get checked. Self-examinations with you is where
Very
you yourself.
much important. At least once a month. And you need to get a partner to make sure that that partner also will do the self-exam.
And also to when you kind of feel like there's something not right, to take heed to that. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
And so throughout that time, how many rounds of chemo did she have to take?
She had a total of 6.
6 rounds.
Yeah.
And did she wind up very ill afterwards? Did she have a difficult time after the chemo?
Certain ones, yes, she
Yeah.
did.
And what kind of physical changes did she have that happened?
She lost her hair, of course. Fingernails and toenails were dark. She lost weight that you could see her bones. That's pretty much what all went.
And Cambria, how was your brother to you when you were having to go through all of this? Was he good to you?
Yes, very much.
Very much. Now, who's the oldest between you two?
Mom, because he's 1 minute.
1 minute. So your big brother, he was there. And so, Patrina, you would say this has brought your family closer. Would you say that?
Yes, I would. Yeah, I would say that.
And we want for you all to definitely to give a message out there. We've been talking about things that you definitely want to make sure that you're taken care of. But what message do you want to make sure that at the end of this program that they know?
Who you want to go first?
We'll let Cambria.
That everything's better when you have a best mom by your side.
Everything's better when you have your best mom by your side. Patrina?
I would say have your child checked out. If you notice any changes, anything wrong, you keep knocking at the doctor's door. Something's not right. Be your child's advocate.
Very good. Ms. Hobbs?
Yes, I think we'll go through our theme to stay woke.
Stay woke.
And that the cure is always going to be there. It's going to be a while, seem like it, but it's going to be there.
It's going to be
And
there.
with God on your side, everything is possible.
Everything is possible. All right, the 3-mile walk for the cure, ladies and gentlemen, is at the Fairview Park Hospital track, October 21st. Y'all be there. Registration's at 8:30?
8:30.
From 9 to 12 is when we're going to start everything off, and we look forward to seeing you all there. We'll be seeing you there, won't we?
And
Yes.
the first lap around will be the survivors.
The first lap around will be the survivors. Thank you all so much. We're so glad that you're here.
Thank you for
Thank you,
having
Miss
us.
Cambria.
Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Patrina.
Thank
and
you.
always, Miss Hobbs.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
What if there was a paint that had the power to awaken something old, or painfully dated, or something you simply thought was lost forever, because it could form a strong bond regardless of age? If a paint could give any time-worn surface stunning new life, you have to wonder, is it still paint? Regal Select Exterior from Benjamin Moore, only available at independently owned paint and hardware stores.
Available at Four Seasons Paint and Floor Covering,